Time for us to see what the headlines are across Nigerian newspapers. Let's start with the Leadership newspaper. Leadership says, running mate, at least Atiku zeroes in on Northeast Tinubu zeroes in on Northeast as Atiku picks Okowa. That's what the Friday Leadership says. Wike unfairly treated by PDP. Okay, saying this. And NNPP screens candidate names choice today, and angry candidates protest at APC Secretariat over alleged substitution of names. We're yet to receive names of presidential candidates, running mates. INEC is saying this, all right? And today is the deadline for all that to happen, so wait to see how it goes. The Nation newspaper is next. VP slot, how PDP elders dropped Wike for Okowa, why Delta governor was picked. My choice won't disappoint Rivers governor. My choice won't disappoint, as Rivers governor is quoted as saying this, okay? The Nation newspaper. First news, Wike understands why Atiku chose me as running mate. Okowa is quoted as saying this. Wike understands why Atiku chose me as running mate. He says Rivers governor knows it has to be one person at a time. Atiku explains why he dumped Wike, picked Delta governor as VP candidate. Right? That's first news. Blueprint newspaper says 2023, how Wike lost to Okowa as Atiku's running mate. Rivers governor Makinde Tambuwal, 4 others absent at unveiling. BOT chair Walid Jibrin Secondus hail Atiku Okowa ticket. Delta governor disciplined, not aggressive. As Ned Nwoko is saying this, all right? That's Blueprint newspaper. The Nigerian News Direct, 2023 presidency, mixed reactions trail Okowa's selection as Atiku's VP Ohaneze vows to vote against PDP. All right. This is a quite interesting twist there. All right, that's Nigerian News Direct. From there, let's go to Daily Trust. How Okowa emerged as Atiku's running mate. PDP founding fathers not comfortable with Rivers governor. Picking Delta governor, a difficult decision. PDP's candidate saying this. Wike Ugwani, others absent at unveiling to meet deadline. And then APC nominates Masari as dummy running mate. That's what Daily Trust has, right? A dummy running mate. Okay. Now let's go to Punch newspaper. Wike's camp fumes warns PDP as Atiku picks Okowa as running mate, right? Wike camp fumes warns PDP as Atiku picks Okowa running mate. Okay, that's our Punch newspaper. Daily Independent. We've made impact on security, economy, corruption. Buhari is quoted as saying this. We have made impact on security, economy, and corruption. Recall that these were the 3 cardinal points for his campaign in 2015 through 2019, right? Let's go to Daily Times. Your inability to secure lives, properties, and invitation to anarchy, Akeredolu warns federal government. Okay, that's Daily Times. From there, let's go to this. Nigeria Appropriation Act, 100 trillion naira wasted in 33 years. No effect whatsoever on citizens' infrastructure, says MacArthur Foundation. All right, 100 trillion naira wasted in 33 years. That's this Nigeria. Business Day, tech talent exodus, glitches frustrate money transfers. Tech talent exodus, glitches frustrate money transfers. All right, that's Business Day. National economy is next, and Nigeria's textile sector still comatose despite federal government's 150 billion naira intervention. Textile firms suffering from poor patronage and high production costs. Federal government's 35% intervention far below average. Experts are saying this, all right? Let's move now to the UK, where we look at the Guardian newspaper. Guardian says Johnson may scrap role of ethics advisor after Gidd's resignation. Okay, that's the Guardian newspaper. Okay, the National is next, and it says UN delivers grim refugee warning for climate crisis. Hundreds of millions to be displaced by 2050 owing to extreme weather. Extreme weather agency is revealing this. Really troubling times, I must say. And then let's go to Saudi Arabia, where Saudi Gazette is there, and it says the private sector firms hiring workers exempted from bearing fee arrears. Okay, that's Saudi Gazette. All that coming out from Saudi Arabia. Okay. All right, those are the papers this morning, but the biggest story so far has been the emergence of Ifeanyi Okowa, the governor of Delta State, as running mate to the PDP presidential candidate in the 2023 election, Atiku Abubakar. And that is what everyone is talking about now. That's what most of the papers have this morning. And as it is, of course, in our first discussion, we'll be looking at that. But in this case where, recall at the primary elections, we had Wike come second after Atiku. And when it comes to the person who had that kind of a spread and connect across, different states, Wike had it. And of course, that is not necessarily the only criteria for picking a running mate, but somebody who is valuable to the party, somebody who has invested so much, who has a wide level of acceptance. All of that is considered. But from comments credited to the president or the former vice president, Atiku Abubakar, he was saying that he needs a running mate who can be like the president in waiting, who can be president after him, who can be called to become president at the next minute when he's not available, as the case may be. So maybe that's the best way he's looking at it.
Well, there is an established level of chemistry that must occur between both persons that will occupy the positions of president and vice president. Of course, whether that will translate to victory for the would-be's, in this case, now the combination of Atiku and the Delta State Governor Okowa, I really don't know. Even though, to be honest, I didn't really see from my end an Atiku-Wike combination either. I wasn't sure. I was actually curious to see how that would play out, and that does seem to also be reflected in what if we will believe what was the Daily Trust now saying now that some northern elders or some powerful blocks now in the party weren't comfortable with the Atiku-Wike slot either. So perhaps that was what they saw, and again the Igbo sentiments again, differing to bring in an Okowa who has some, even though you might contest, you might also contest that may not be exactly so, seeing as it is in the middle of both sides, the Deltans and of course the Igbos.
As a way of balancing that.
As a way of balancing it now. Of course, it's a really tricky situation for the PDP.
It's a tricky one, I must say.
Well, you know that they say that you cannot have two patriarch lions in one pride. One must leave the place for the other.
Either bow or leave.
Yes. Go. The lion will pee to map out his own territory. So if you come in, you're looking for trouble. So in a sense, it has a history. Atiku has a history with Wike of being rivals in the party. And this did not begin with the last primary.
Even the primary.
Yeah, they did it when he supported Tambuwa against Wike.
Right.
And Tambuwa did very well, came second. And, they've always described the PDP as, some people have described PDP as Wike Inc. Some people have seen it as Wike Inc. In other words, it's the one who people go to get things done, especially when it comes to money. Remember when there was an election in Edo State, and they wanted, I think Obaseki was crossing over to PDP, and it was called over. That's Wike to come and help with bringing peace. And then the people saw, oh, Wike is here. Yes, money. Then he left there and he said they thought he was going to meet reasonable people. He didn't know that he was having conversation with tax collectors. He said so. So there have been this issue of you cannot have two big fish in a pond. I mean, one has to die and the other one to continue, and so on. So that is one of the things that probably said, okay, I can't have things. So why did he go to Okowa instead of Udom? Udom is quite is seen as somebody who has really performed and who has a kind of created a kind of rainbow tent in his own state, and it's not controversial and so on and so forth. But Okowa is controversial in Delta right now because one is trying to decapitate the leader of the party, James Ibori, and is not at peace with even his predecessor, Dr. Emmanuel Uduaghan. And then they had an election, a primary election. The candidate of Ibori was Edevie, and his own, that's Okowa's candidate, was Sheriff Oborowori. So there was this battle going on between the godfather and the godson. And some people were saying, some people told me, say, we told Ibori when he was in jail in England, don't put Okowa there. Okowa is cannot be trusted. Those people are now whispering to him now that, didn't we tell you
we told
that
you
this man is not to be trusted? Now, he did not only defeat, and they said that stories about money going all over. He did not only defeat Edevie handily. He drew the daughter of Udoha close to him, very close to the daughter, making a role in the government. And the poor girl thought that, oh, I'm actually at peace with this family, so I can run. And then she was given a shalaki. She lost. Even the Ibori's daughter, they had to settle for her to get the nomination because in the first round, the election stalemated. And now she got through. Maybe they wanted to give a kind of soft landing for the father's pride. But the thing is there. Somebody close to Ibori told me that the man says, the man told what they call it, Okowa. He said, "What are you trying to turn Delta into? You had James Ibori, you had Dr. Udoha, you have Okowa, and you have Sheriff." I don't want to use the language you used to describe Sheriff, So they're saying, some people are also saying that, look, he took a loan of 150 billion. They are saying they have no access. They say he's using it as leverage so that he can help Atiku's campaign. This is what Chester has.
That's all right.
Some people are saying so.
Yes.
Money is a
they have
factor.
to really explain. They have to really explain some of these
Money
things.
will always be a factor in elections.
Money is a factor, but this depth that Sam has gone into now, giving us the history of how things stand in Delta PDP at the moment, that would also you could also argue that how will that work in Atiku's favor as he of course continues to eye the prize over there, because that is a factor. How well you can deliver as a vice presidential candidate, as a running mate, as a president in waiting would be, that also counts. And of course, give it to Governor Wike. He seems to score all the points in this regard, except for maybe his personality that may be seen as brash.
Okay. You see that when he was giving his press conference, you didn't see Udom there, you didn't see Wike there. You only saw Bayelsa governor. Yes, indeed. Of course, there's no Cross River, there's no Edo. There's no Edo. Those are not.
I thought Governor Obaseki was there, even though he had gone on to congratulate. I saw that he congratulated.
Well, all those could be symbolic to maybe something we haven't seen.
You have the story of the whole of the Southeast. Now, we're supposed to be the stronghold of PDP. now completely out of contention in this matter.
We will talk about that in our next discussion now, because there are so many sides to this, and then there are also so many implications to them as we get along.